Hey, it's Tom. Happy Tuesday. Happy 4th of July. Hope you're going to have a wonderful time. I think it's going to be a hot one here in Georgia, but I hope you get a chance to take a little time off and celebrate our nation's independence and the freedom that we have. Freedom to worship as we want to, the freedom to speak our minds. We see the things that are going on around the world where people are repressed. It's just encouraging to know that we hold dearly to our freedoms here. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about this morning, so many that I'm actually using a list today. First, I want to mention that we had our road show in Region 13 last week. It was by far, I think, I don't want to say it was the best, but it was great. It was absolutely great. We had the Civic Luncheon, which is probably the biggest one we've had so far. Our Medicaid folks had a lot of great provider meetings. We met with a lot of foster parents. We met with community leaders. We had county commissioners and judges. It was just really a great opportunity. We also met, of course, with our colleagues at Mental Health to talk about issues in Cobb and Gwinnett and how we can work more closely together. And that's really the purpose of these road shows, is to get out and really put ourselves on the front line out there with y'all to see what you're experiencing, to help you make the connections, to help you better develop those community relationships that we need to make this work go well and to be able to serve the families and children of Georgia in the best way possible. Also, I had the opportunity to go down to Tifton this past week and participate with former First Lady Mary Purdue, wife of Sonny, our Agriculture Secretary, and my former boss as governor. And we had a wonderful celebration. Of course, as you know, the Purdues were very involved in foster care both before they came into office and while they were here. Mrs. Purdue started the Children's Cabinet, which I had the pleasure of being a part of. But I think the most wonderful thing about the evening was that we were celebrating reunification. You know, we've reunified this agency about 5,000 children and families every year. And that truly is probably the meat of our work. Of the children we bring into foster care, the vast majority are reunified. It is the work that we do really well. It's the work that we want to continue to do well. And so I think it's great. You know, we have Child Abuse Prevention Month, we have Foster Care Month, but it's also great that we can also have celebrations around the state and hear from families directly that we have worked with to help reunify the parents and children, which is what we had the opportunity to do last week in Tifton. Also, you may have heard that we have a new workforce development grant. We're working with UGA and Georgia State, and I believe Albany State and our other colleges and universities in the state that have social work programs. And we are doing something called they're going to actually call it the Comprehensive Organizational Health Assessment. And that is an online survey that's going out to everybody, all our child welfare staff. And there's not going to be any identifying information. But we really want you to fill out this survey. We need a baseline to see how we are doing as an agency. We've talked a lot about just culture. We've talked a lot about creating a culture in which you feel cared for, that you feel that you're able to speak up. But we need a baseline so we can see how we're doing to improve that and whether or not we're making progress over the next few years. So hold us accountable by telling us what you think in this survey. Actually, that's about all I had to talk about today. I guess there's one other thing. Well, of course, we've all heard about baby India. I think if you haven't, then you know this is the child who was abandoned by the side of the road up in Forsyth County in a plastic bag, and miraculously was found by a family who heard the cry of what they thought was a baby, and two young ladies encouraged their father to go out with them at night, found this baby. Little baby India, as everybody has named her, is thriving. We've had the opportunity to use her story, the miracle of her survival, as really a platform to talk not only about the work that we at DFACS are doing, but also the needs of the many children who come through our foster care system, the 1,200 children that we helped adopt last year, for example, the 300 children who are free for adoption now. And while we have received phone calls and letters and emails and texts from all over the country interested in seeing how they can help baby India, we're also using her, I guess her legacy will be that she has also helped to bring the attention on the needs of our children here in Georgia who are in foster care or who are free for adoption. So I want to thank Baby India and all of the law enforcement folks and all our staff up in Forsyth County and the family who have all helped her. And I want to thank all of you for the work that you do every day. Again, I hope you have a wonderful, safe, blessed 4th of July, and we'll see you next week.